Society tells you that if you love staying home, something is wrong with you. You're antisocial. You're missing out. You're wasting your life hiding from the world. Let me tell you what you actually are. Selective. While everyone else is running from event to event, trying to fill some void with constant activity, you've discovered something they're terrified to face. Peace. Solitude. The ability to be alone with yourself without needing distraction. This isn't weakness. This is self-awareness at its highest level. Today, I'm going to reveal the psychology behind people who genuinely love staying home. This isn't about social anxiety or fear. This is about a level of psychological maturity and self-sufficiency that most people will never achieve. The energy economics. Let's start with something psychologists call social energy expenditure. Every social interaction costs you energy. Small talk, reading social cues, maintaining performance, managing expectations, pretending to care about things you don't care about. For some people, social interaction recharges them. These are extroverts. For others, social interaction depletes them. These are introverts. Neither is superior. They're just different operating systems. Research from Carl Jung's personality theory shows that introverts process stimulation differently. Their brains are more sensitive to dopamine, meaning they need less external stimulation to feel satisfied. People who love staying home aren't avoiding life. They're managing their energy intelligently. They understand that their peace of mind is more valuable than forced social obligations. They've rejected FOMO culture, fear of missing out. FOMO, the anxiety that everyone else is having better experiences than you. That if you're not constantly doing something, seeing something, being somewhere, you're falling behind. This is psychological manipulation disguised as cultural expectation. Studies from the University of Essex show that FOMO is directly correlated with lower life satisfaction and increased anxiety. The more you chase experiences because you're afraid to miss them, the less you actually enjoy anything. People who love staying home have conquered FOMO. They've realized that you're not missing out on anything if you don't want to be there in the first place. They've chosen intentional presence over obligatory presence. Ancient Stoics understood this. Seneca wrote about the foolishness of constantly seeking external pleasures while ignoring internal cultivation. Marcus Aurelius found more wisdom in his private journal than in the entire Roman Senate. The solitude advantage. Here's what society doesn't want you to know. Solitude is where greatness is built. Every major innovation, every profound thought, every transformative piece of art came from someone who spent significant time alone. Newton developed calculus in isolation. Einstein formulated relativity in quiet contemplation. Every writer, every philosopher, every deep thinker spent enormous amounts of time alone with their thoughts. Research from Harvard shows that solitude enhances creativity, problem-solving, and emotional regulation. Your brain needs quiet time to process information, consolidate memories, and generate original ideas. When you're constantly surrounded by noise and people, you're consuming other people's thoughts. You never develop your own. You become an echo chamber instead of an original voice. People who love staying home understand this. They're not hiding from the world. They're building something the world hasn't seen yet. Quality over quantity in relationships. Society measures your social success by how many friends you have, how many events you attend, how full your social calendar is. This is quantity thinking. It's shallow, it's exhausting, and it's completely missing the point. People who prefer staying home have figured out that 10 surface-level friendships are worth less than one deep, meaningful connection. They'd rather have 3 real friends who know them completely than 300 acquaintances who know their performance. Psychological research on relationships consistently shows that relationship quality, not quantity, determines life satisfaction and mental health. One genuine connection provides more emotional support than a dozen superficial ones. When you stop chasing quantity, you can invest in quality. When you stop attending every social obligation, you have energy for relationships that actually matter. The comfort zone truth. They'll tell you to get out of your comfort zone. They'll shame you for staying home. They'll say you're not growing, not living, not challenging yourself. Here's the reality. Your comfort zone is where you recharge so you can perform outside of it. It's not a prison, it's a base camp. Research on stress and performance shows that humans need periods of safety and comfort to balance periods of challenge and growth. Constant discomfort doesn't create growth, it creates burnout. People who love staying home have created a sanctuary, a space where they can be completely themselves without performance, without judgment, without exhaustion. This isn't avoidance. This is strategic recovery. Athletes don't train 24 hours a day. They train hard and rest hard. Why should your social life be any different? They've discovered internal validation. Most people need constant external validation. They need to be seen, to be noticed, to be confirmed. If they're not out there being witnessed, do they even exist? This is psychological dependence disguised as social engagement. People who love staying home have broken this addiction. They don't need other people to validate their existence. They don't need to be seen to feel real. They've found validation internally. Studies in self-determination theory show that internal locus of control, deriving satisfaction from within rather than from external sources, correlates with higher levels of happiness, resilience, and life satisfaction. When you're comfortable alone, you're truly free. You're not dependent on anyone else's presence, approval, or attention to feel complete. The overstimulation epidemic. Modern society is designed to overstimulate you. Constant notifications, endless content, social obligations, noise, lights, demands. Your nervous system is under siege every moment you're engaged with the external world. Research on sensory processing shows that some people have naturally higher sensitivity to stimulation. Sounds feel louder, lights feel brighter, social environments feel more intense. For these people, the outside world isn't just tiring, it's overwhelming. Home isn't a retreat, it's a necessity for nervous system regulation. Psychologist Elaine Aron's research on highly sensitive people shows that 15 to 20% of the population processes sensory information more deeply. These people aren't weak, they're wired differently. People who love staying home often fall into this category. They're not antisocial. They're protecting their mental health from a world that doesn't understand their processing depth. They value deep work over shallow activity. Cal Newport's research on deep work shows that meaningful productivity requires long periods of uninterrupted focus. You can't do deep work in a coffee shop. You can't do it between social events. You need time, space, and zero distractions. People who love staying home have optimized for deep work. They've created environments where they can think, create, build, and produce at the highest level. While everyone else is busy looking productive, they're actually being productive. While others are networking and socializing, they're mastering skills. While the world is performing activity, they're generating results. Staying home isn't laziness, it's focus. It's the recognition that real achievement requires real concentration, and real concentration requires solitude. The introvert advantage. Susan Cain's research on introverts reveals something powerful. Introverts aren't broken extroverts. They're a different type of strength. Introverts think before they speak. They listen more than they talk. They process deeply rather than react quickly. They form fewer but stronger relationships. They're comfortable with silence. In a world that rewards loudness, introverts who stay home are exercising their natural strengths instead of forcing themselves to perform extroversion. Studies show that introverts often become exceptional writers, analysts, scientists, and creators precisely because they spend more time in introspection and less time in performance. Your preference for home isn't a flaw. It's your operating system working correctly. They've mastered self-sufficiency. Most people can't stand being alone because they don't know how to entertain themselves, how to sit with their thoughts, how to find satisfaction without external stimulation. People who love staying home have developed self-sufficiency. They can create their own entertainment. They can enjoy their own company. They don't need constant input from others to feel alive. Research on emotional regulation shows that people who are comfortable with solitude have better emotional stability, lower anxiety, and greater resilience to stress. When you can be happy alone, you're never truly alone. When you need others to be happy, you're always dependent. The authenticity factor. Think about how much of your social behavior is performance. The face you put on, the energy you project, the interest you fake, the opinions you modify to fit the room. Exhausting, isn't it? At home, you can drop the mask. You can be completely, unapologetically yourself. No performance, no pretending, no energy wasted on managing perceptions. Psychological studies on authenticity show that people who have spaces where they can be completely genuine experience lower stress and higher life satisfaction. Your home is where your authentic self lives. Why wouldn't you want to spend time there? They understand energy protection. Your energy is finite. Every person you interact with either adds to it or drains from it. Every environment either energizes you or depletes you. People who love staying home have become masters at energy protection. They've identified what drains them, and they've chosen to minimize exposure. This isn't weakness. This is wisdom. Research on energy management shows that high performers in every field are strategic about when and where they expend their energy. They protect it fiercely. You're not obligated to give your energy to everyone who demands it. You're not required to drain yourself to meet social expectations. Your energy is yours to allocate. The creative sanctuary. Every creative person needs a space where ideas can breathe, where thoughts can develop without interruption, where imagination can run wild without judgment. For most people, that space is home. Studies on creativity show that the most innovative thinking happens in relaxed, safe environments where the brain isn't in survival or social performance mode. Your home isn't where you hide from creativity. It's where you unleash it. It's where the magic happens that the outside world eventually sees. The pressure to perform socially. Society has created an exhausting expectation. You must be social, outgoing, available, and constantly engaged to be considered normal and successful. This is arbitrary. This is cultural conditioning. This is not universal truth. Different cultures value different traits. Some cultures honor contemplation and solitude. Some societies respect the quiet thinker as much as the charismatic leader. People who love staying home have rejected the performance pressure. They've decided that their version of a good life doesn't require constant social display. Psychological research on well-being shows that living according to your authentic preferences, not society's expectations, is the strongest predictor of life satisfaction. The truth about missing out. You're not missing out on life by staying home. You're missing out on other people's version of life. And if that version doesn't align with what brings you peace, why would you chase it? The Stoics had a principle: know thyself. Understand what you value, what energizes you, what brings you genuine satisfaction. Then build your life around that, regardless of what others think you should do. People who love staying home have done this work. They know themselves, they honor themselves, and they refuse to apologize for it. Your home is your kingdom. When you stay home by choice, not by fear, you're exercising one of the most powerful freedoms available: the freedom to choose how you spend your finite time on this planet. You're choosing peace over performance, quality over quantity, depth over breadth, authenticity over approval. This isn't settling. This isn't giving up. This is choosing deliberately. And deliberate choice is the foundation of a life well lived. Now I want to hear from you. Do you love staying home, or do you feel pressured to constantly be out and social? How do you balance your need for solitude with society's expectations? Drop a comment below and share your experience. If this video resonated with you and validated your preference for staying home, hit that like button. It helps other homebodies discover this message and feel less alone in their choice. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more content that challenges social norms and explores the psychology behind how we live. Share this video with someone who loves staying home but feels guilty about it, or someone who doesn't understand why you prefer your own space. This might help them see staying home as strength, not weakness. Thank you for watching. Remember, your home isn't a prison, it's a sanctuary. And choosing to be there is a sign of self-knowledge, not social failure. I'll see you in the next video.